Good morning, everyone. Whoa. Okay, I don't want to give anybody ear pain here, but thank you for coming. We appreciate those that come to our meeting. Makes it all worthwhile. I don't know where. Okay. Are you fixing the mic? Okay, there. All right, I am going to call this meeting to order, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please, if you would all stand. Shoot. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, so Pam over here has our 50-50 drawing. It's one ticket for $1 or 3 tickets for $2. We will have the drawing for that at the end of the meeting, and we also have a gift card drawing, and you must be present to win either one of those. I'd like to introduce the board for those of you that are not familiar with who we are. Over here is Sue Smith. She is our first vice president. And over here we have Donna Mueller. She is our second vice president. Our secretary is Dee Hammond. And our treasurer is Pam Williams. She's also our 50-50 representative here. Okay. First of all, I have to apologize for an error. Our December minutes from this meeting were never posted. We've been having some difficulty connecting my computer with the board or the resident association sites, so it never went out. So as a consequence, we're going to have Dee, our secretary, read the minutes from the December meeting, and then we will vote on those. Dee?
Good morning, everyone. The general meeting minutes of the LPGRA for December 2nd, 2021 began at 9:29, presided by President Peggy Marcone. The board meeting members, all of the board members were present, and the total non-board members were 42 in attendance. Total viewing on YouTube for November meeting was 85. There were no board members absent. Guests in attendance was Jean DeStories from the Mesa Fire Department Social Services Division. We introduced the board members, which Peggy just did, so I'm not going to repeat that. The minutes from November 11th, 2021 was approved. The treasurer's report was the previous balance was $700.40. Deposits including in the previous balance was $68.55 from recycling. There were no expenses in December, and the total expenditures was $0. Current balance as of 12/02/2021 was $95. The treasurer's report and all expenses were approved. Old business, we had Neighborhood Watch with Sally York. She stated that we currently have 27 street captains, and according to spotcrime.com, in our community, there was only one phone call with suspicious activity. Per the Mesa Police Department, we live in one of the safest communities in Mesa. Next Neighborhood Watch meeting was held on Tuesday, December 12th at 3 p.m. The newsletter, LPGRA Observer by Sue Smith. The next newsletter will have a Valentine theme. Request for submission of your love story to be included in the letter. Deadline for submission of items for newsletter was February 1st, 2022. Recycling was Sue Smith also. She wanted to remind us that the cycling is for clear plastics and cans only. Recycling is going well and expect an increase with winter visitors. AMHO is Pam Williams. She said membership is $35 per year or $65 for 2 years, and it includes 2 people in the household. Membership due goes to lobbyists representing owners of modular homes in legislature. Open items were presented by Peggy Marcone. First item up was leases. There is no further information at this time. Leases will be out in January 2022. Leases will be effective January 1st, 2022, and the draft of the lease is available at the office upon request. Second item was dogs, no further complaints. Reminder to clean up after your pet and keep them on a leash. Pets are not allowed in Palm Circle, which includes the mailroom. Third item was green waste. Cameras and signage will be in place early 2022. Reminder that this receptacle is for yard clippings and not for household items. Several suggestions for disposal of household items were recommended, including hazardous materials waste, Sunshine Acres, and Vietnam Vets. Suggestion has been made to obtain a second green roll-off receptacle at the cost of residents. The receptacle might be replaced twice or more per week, with the cost being charged per replacement as well as weight. This will increase each resident's monthly fees. Board is not willing at this time to pursue this further. Fourth item was masks. Mask mandate causing a division within the community. Management is aware of the inconsistency of mask wearing. Management is unable to change the mandate. Fifth item is Guadalupe Gate. Guadalupe Gate should be opened at 6 a.m. Timer needs adjustment. And this last item is committees. Requests for volunteers of any of the LPGRA committees, especially the Communication Committee and the Community Relations Committee. Then we had new business. Our guest speaker was Jean DeSoris from Mesa Fire Department Social Services Division. She stated that they have a home safety program, and she's taking appointments for assessment of your home, including home escape plans, fall safety recommendations, and smoke alarm replacement, as well as grab bar replacement. This program is free by volunteers. Donations are welcome. She talked about lockbox. At this time, Mesa Fire Department does not provide lockboxes. If you purchase your own, please contact Fire Prevention with your code. Also, when calling 911, you will need to inform the 911 operator of your code. Mesa Fire is familiar with the Knox box, KNOX-BOX unit, which does not require a code. She talked about smoke alarms. The Mesa Fire Department offers smoke alarms with a 10-year life cycle for the components. They will install these or will replace batteries for the ones you already own. If you have hardwire alarms in your home, they will install their units until you can get the batteries replaced on your hardwired ones or replace them with their units. Lastly, she said, if you would like to participate in any of these programs, please contact Jean DeSoris. Her preference for setting up appointments is email jean.desoris@mesaaz.gov. Please include your name, address, age, and whether you are a vet. The next item was the general meeting. Next general meeting was January 6, 2022, 9:30 in Ballroom, live streamed on YouTube and recorded by Larry Smith. Then we have the next board meeting, which is December 9th, 2021, 9:30 a.m. in Craft Room. Board meetings are closed to board members and management only. Then we had motion to adjourn. The meeting was adjourned at 10:18 a.m. Respectfully submitted by D. Hammond, Secretary.
Okay, thank you. Okay, that was a little confusing, I know, because it's 2 months ago, but you all know we didn't have our January meeting. We felt it was in the best interest of the community to cancel that meeting just because of the sudden increase in all the COVID infections. So we canceled that one, and we're here today. So those were the minutes for the December meeting. I will get them posted. I'm getting things, hopefully, will get straightened out within the next week, and we'll get these things posted. So I would like a motion to accept the December minutes. Motion made. A second? Those are seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, the minutes are accepted as is. Okay. She's a little bit busy, but our treasurer has our treasurer report. One thing I wanted to add before I forget, Dee mentioned about Jean DeSoris coming here to do inspections of our home from the fire department. We called and had ours done. We figured, we're all set, but we'll have them come look. No, we weren't. Our fire smoke alarm was the original. We didn't know that they are dead after 10 years. Our home is older than 10 years. So they replaced it, no charge, took care of the whole thing, took the old one away and put new batteries in our, we had replaced our batteries, but they thought it was best to just put new batteries in at this time so we have everything on the same day schedule. Wonderful people, great information. I highly recommend it.
Do you have a phone number for them or what?
I have it up here on the desk. Okay. All right. Pam? Pam, our treasurer, will now give us our treasurer's report.
Good morning. This is going to be a little review because Okay, can you hear me now? Yeah. Okay, I'm starting at 11:30 since we didn't give you a report in January. So the beginning balance as of 11:30 was $768.95. The 50/50 drawing for 12/3 was $23 deposited. For December, we had a total of $286.25 for recycling. That was December and January, I'm sorry. And for expenses paid out in December, we had a reimbursement for $60 for the gift cards to me. We paid Shane Neal $45 for the website updates. We gave a donation to Sunshine Acres for $200. And we also gave a donation for $200 to the Phoenix Veterans Home, with the total expenses of $505. Our current balance as of 1/31 is $550.20. Do I ask for the motion? No. Okay. No, Peggy does? Okay.
Sorry about that. Okay, so. Any corrections, any questions? Okay. Yes.
I noticed the donations that were made. Is there any way to ask the membership where they would like the money donated in the future?
Okay, the question was asked if membership can make suggestions for where donations would be made in the future. The two donations that we made were made through suggestions from the residents. But yes, we do definitely want to hear from you. We can discuss the different organizations that are suggested to us. We prefer to do a nonprofit organization, which is what the two that we donated to were. The discussion on those two have been going on for quite a while due to the fact that we didn't have any money to donate. But as things were increasing with the recycling, we did finally have enough money to be able to make decent donations to nonprofit organizations. So yes, your answer there is yes, definitely. And you can just submit your suggestions to the board, email, phone call, if you see us on the street. Yes, Lois.
Suggestions are good, but I think what Margaret is saying is that the whole all the residents should be able to vote on those suggestions.
Okay, all right.
You know, like today, say, you have
should be voted on by the whole of the community, or at least the people that are here at the meeting, rather than just the board voting.
Right, okay. Margaret, you can correct me on this if I'm not right, but I thought that when we had originally set this up, that we would be making donations, that it was discussed. And we really didn't get, people had agreed that, people had suggested the Vets Association there, and the Sunshine Acres. So we never actually brought it up again. We just continued to move on that. We did say in the beginning that the purpose of this, one of the things that we were going to do if we got this off the ground with the recycling was to make donations to deserving organizations. So yes, the board will discuss that. The question was to bring up voting, have the entire resident association have the opportunity to vote on who they would like to have the donations go to. So far, we had only received 2 suggestions. And so, being at the end of the year, we wanted to get them out before the end of the fiscal year. So we did that. But going forward, I think that's something that the board should discuss in detail next week. And then we can present it at the next general meeting as far as how we're going to go forward with this and make sure that the residents have the input on it. This is your organization, it's not the board's organization, so I don't want you to think that. It was just, the suggestions had been made in the past, they were in the notes, and so we moved on it because of the end of the year. Okay, is there any other questions about the treasurer's report? Okay, so do I have a motion to accept that? Motion made, thank you. Anybody second? Got a second. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, they are, any abstentions? Sorry. They are accepted as is. Okay, okay, we're down to the old business. The Neighborhood Watch, we do not have any, Sally York is not, or Naustrand, sorry, is not here today. So we don't have anything from Sally directly. I just want to say that things have been going very well in the community. Again, I think it was in the December notes. According to the police department, Las Palmas Grand is top of the list as far as safety and lack of problems with criminals and mischief and that type of thing. So yes, it is very safe here. I know at times people get worried about it. We live in a wonderful community here. This is not the type of, we don't have security guards, okay? We have a courtesy patrol. The gates are not locked per se, where you have to have special identification to get in or that. There are many ways to get into this community without going through any of the gates, as it is with any of these communities. So the safe thing to do is lock your doors, lock your car, lock your home, take your keys out of your golf cart, put your bicycles in your shed or in your Arizona room or something. Don't leave them visible, easy grab. So, and if you do leave them outdoors, make sure they're locked securely. Those are the best things, and if you had a police officer standing up here, I think he'd say just about the same thing, because that's what we hear every time that they've come in here. And again, I just wanted to say that we do have a very safe community. We do have Neighborhood Watch meeting. The next one is February 15th. It will be in the card room down here. I think it's the first card room. And it is open to everyone. You don't have to be a street captain to come. You will get information from Sally. You can hear what goes on in those meetings. It's open. I know they're still looking for street captains. The street captain job, if you want to call it that, is just being a good neighbor, saying, hi, welcome to the community, my name is, and what's your name, and just being a friendly neighbor. It kind of gives people a place to, a person to go to if they have just a simple question or something. They also help organize street parties, which now might be a really good time to do that because our winter visitors are back. The weather is pleasant. It's not too hot. It is a little bit too cold today, but that's not normal. So if you're interested in planning a street party for your street, contact Sally if you don't have a street captain, and if you do, contact your street captain and get it off the ground and have a lot of fun. Okay, let's see, the items list, I'm sorry, the open items list that we had, which I have right here. Okay, so in December, we said that the leases were going to be here January 1st. This is February 3rd. We still don't have any leases. I checked before the meeting started to see where the leases are at. They know about as much about them as we do. There is nothing, there's no new information. The leases still are not available for us to sign. However, I will reiterate that every single person who lives in here that ever signed a lease is on a lease. Because once the lease term ends, if you read your lease, it says that it automatically transfers to a month-to-month lease. So everything that was in the lease that you signed is still pertains to life in LPG today. So you don't have to worry that you don't have a lease or that something can happen. Those leases run fresh every month. The first of the month, they're renewed automatically. Okay? So we do have leases, just not the 2022 lease. As far as dogs go, Sally did bring up the fact that there are dogs in here that are not licensed, that the office does not know about. There's dogs that are oversized or overweight. Dogs, I have to tell you, when I took over as president, Margaret bestowed on me all of the information from the previous resident association meetings and such. So me being a little OCD, I went through every single one of them, and I read all the minutes, going back to, I can't remember the first year, 2002 or 3, something like that. And every single month, guess what's on the list? Dogs. Dogs, speeding, and the gates. Since this community started. Those are the 3. And those are the 3 that are still open items on our list too. People that have dogs, it's not that people hate dogs and want the dogs out of here. It's just they don't want little calling cards left on their property. They don't want to have to jump out of the way because a dog charges at them, that type of thing. So dogs must be on a leash. Someone stated that they didn't know that there was a leash law inside LPG. LPG is part of the city of Mesa, so all the laws that go for the city of Mesa go for LPG, because we are part of the city of Mesa. So I guess just a reminder, keep your dogs under control, clean up after them, and please use the dog park. I don't know if you noticed, but along Juniper Hills, there are signs up that says, be a good neighbor, clean up after your dog, please. The green spaces that were down there were looking a little ratty. So we're hoping that that will take care of that. We had neighbors that live along that street that were mentioning that the fact that the green spaces were not looking very decent. And if you want to sit on a bench there, you certainly don't want to put your feet in things that don't look right. Okay, anyway, so moving on, dogs will always be on the list, so we'll continue with that. We did ask management about putting new signs at the Guadalupe Gate and the Stephen Pollard Gate. Both of those, at this point, we have not gotten the definitive, but we have been led to believe that that will not happen. There are signs currently on those gates, so they're not going to just put up new signs that say the same thing. The Stephen Pollard Gate, there isn't one actually hanging on the gate because that gate actually slides back and forth. It's not just a swing open gate. So they don't want to put a gate or a sign on the actual gate, but there is one just to the right of the opening of that gate. So we will continue with that one. We will bring that again up to management. We did have some complaints about the pool. We had someone that was going by the pool and noticing at night that it was not covered. The morning aerobics classes the water was way too cold, and it has been getting quite chilly at night, down in the 40s and now in the 30s. So I took the pictures, I sent them to management, and management responded very quickly. In fact, I got a text from them 2 days later from the residents that had made the complaints, saying that they had driven by, yes, the pool was covered, and the next morning the pool was wonderfully warm. They had increased the temperature of the pool water also. So yes, it is getting covered every night, and yes, the pool is warmer now than it was, so if you were a little shy about going in the pool, welcome back. We did bring up in December about recycling glass. I think that was in December. Was that in December, Dee? Okay, it was expanding the recycling, sorry. And that will not happen. We are not going to get another dumpster in there. I saw some people kind of like relieved that we won't get that, because that would be an additional charge depending on who puts what in there. I will reiterate that big green dumpster is for green waste. Can we stop people from throwing their wall-to-wall carpeting that they remove from their place, or their television that they want to throw away, or anything else that they just feel like, hey, there's a place I can throw it, I'll do it? We can't do that. There's no way to stop it. We did ask for a sign. We're waiting to hear back from Todd on that. He was not at the last meeting due to COVID. So, not his COVID, but because there were so many people, employees at all of 5 of the communities that had COVID, he was not able to attend the meeting. So we're still waiting to hear back as far as getting a sign on there that tells people exactly what you can or cannot put into the green waste. We're going to hold questions till the end, if that's okay. It was brought up to recycle glass. That is not going to happen either. Right now, I feel like we're doing a great job with the aluminum and the plastic bottles. Things got off to a rocky start. We almost lost the management's approval on that, but it's been going great. I think Pam told me we had $200 in January from recycling. So that's pretty good. I think we're doing very well with that. The glass is another story. Someone wants to put, they replace their glass maybe in a window or something, and they want to throw it in there, but they drop it before it gets in the bin. Who's going to clean that up? People have been putting the plastic bottles in the aluminum cans when those things are full. They put it on the ground around the barrels. It's a lot of work to maintain those things. Glass, because glass breaks and shatters and goes all over the place, and the fact that the person that was willing to assist us with that was not a resident. It was just someone that was willing to come in and help out with this. It was just decided that that was not a good idea. So at this point, glass is not going to happen. We will continue with the aluminum and the plastic bottles, and it's going great, so just keep up the good work. I think if we can prove to management that things are going well, if we can get this green waste issue settled down a bit more, perhaps they would be more willing to work. It's just a suggestion. So that's the end of the recycling of the glass. Let's see, hold on just a second. Oh, the other thing is the space for the glass. It's a bigger dumpster. The space in there is limited, and they do, I don't know if you've been down to that area, they put that great big huge, I don't know what you call it, like a backhoe or something in there. So they need room to park that. They also have dirt piles in there that they use for the community, and space is limited. All right, it was brought up that the courtesy patrol was missing in action. I don't know how else to put it. We had talked to Christy about it. Some people had said that there wasn't always a guard at the gate and that they weren't actually coming out to greet people as they came in, and people wanted that. So Christy said that she would take care of that, and I did notice that that has been improved. We also have, I think there's 2 new guards out there, or patrol people out there. So be nice, have your smile on and wave to them, and they'll wave back. A complaint was made about a construction company dumping in the green waste area. I just wanted everyone to know that is not what is to be done. So if you hire someone to come in and do remodeling on your house, they do not have permission to dump whatever they're remodeling in the green waste. It doesn't go there. The company that was that did that, they have been notified that they're not to do that. The only time that it may occur is if Thesman Communities hires a contractor to do specific work for Thesman Community on Thesman property. They are allowed to put their stuff in there. So just to clarify that. And let me think here. Okay. I'm going to finish with a new business before we go any further. In going through all of those notes that I got from the previous residents associations, I noticed that there were a lot of forms in there that people had filled out that they had submitted to AMHO. How many people in here know what AMHO is? Okay, and how many people in here are members of AMHO? I'll put my hand up here too. Okay, AMHO stands for the Arizona Manufactured, no wait a minute, and let me get it. Arizona Association of Manufactured Homeowners. I got that wrong still. AAMHO. AMHO, it represents every person that owns a manufactured home in the state of Arizona. They go before the legislature. Pardon me?
RV and park model.
Oh, sorry, RV and park model also. If you own a place in LPG, you really should look into being a member of AMHO. It costs $35 for 1 year. It costs $60 for 2 years. If there's more than one person in the house, it doesn't matter. One membership per household, per address, okay? So what they do, that pays for the lobbyist that stands and lobbies for us to make sure that the proper laws are passed and that there aren't laws that are passed that harm us. Last year, they had 2 laws go into effect that were very beneficial, the biggest one being the caretakers, so that people can have people come in and take care of them without, they can live here if they're not 55, if they're outside of the percentage and all of that. They can live here because they are your personal caregiver, okay? So that was one of them. There was some problems with that before, and that has now been taken care of. There are a lot of, I don't know about you, but I don't follow everything that the legislature's doing. You know, all the laws and the bill, or I should say the bills that are presented, I don't know what they're presenting, but that's what we pay those lobbyists to do. In years past, they had 80% membership in LPG. Right now we have about 20 or 30 members. Out of 835 homes, I believe it is, we have about 30 homes that are representing, that are helping to cover. I think that is something that we really need to work on, is to get more people aware of what AMHO is and what AMHO does for us. There is a meeting coming up Saturday, March 5th. It's going to be at the American Legion number 35 on West Chandler Boulevard in Chandler. You do need to fill out an a form to go to it. There is a fee. Pre-registration fee is $10 per person, $15 at the door. It starts at 8 o'clock. The doors open at 8 o'clock. The meeting itself starts at 9 o'clock. They will have pastry, fruit tray, coffee, and tea. And they will give you a wealth of information about AMHO and what AMHO is actually working on currently. In the back there where Pam is, she has put out on the table there literature about AMHO. And I would ask everyone, please take some, read it, and pass it on to your neighbors. I would really, really like to see if we could build up our membership here at AMHO, or at LPG. Yes, ma'am.
The forms for that seminar are on that.
Okay, the forms for the seminar are on the table back there too. I did send out the February, March AMHO newsletter. I hope you all got it. It's another part of our computer glitch here. They do a newsletter every other month. They send out periodic bulletins and stuff, and I try to forward them, and I'm finding out that some of them have not gone. Sorry about that. I just think it's important for us to be involved in this, to be aware of it. We don't have to do anything other than, if you want to come to an AMHO meeting, that's great. But I think your finances support those people that are actually the boots on the ground working for us. So I think it's a really good cause. Okay, and I don't know about anybody else, but I noticed that my garbage bill was higher this month. And I think I know why. I went by that dumpster frequently. We go down there a lot to put our bottles and cans in there. And most often when we go down there, I know it's replaced on Tuesdays and Fridays because they go down our street. And I try to go down there on Mondays and Thursdays to see what it looks like. It's overflowing with, I went by there yesterday, I think it was yesterday. There's wall-to-wall carpeting sticking out the end. They couldn't get it in all the way. There was a television sticking on top of that. There's so much stuff in there that they can't even get it in, okay? So what management has to do is the guys from maintenance, they go down, they take off the top because they can't transport it unless it's level with the top. So they take off what doesn't fit. When the new one comes in, they put that stuff back in. If need be, if it gets too bad, they have to call for a second one, or a third one, I should say. But that's what we pay for. So if you notice that your garbage bill's a little bit higher, it's not a lot, but, it's just that that's where the money's going to. We're paying for other people's cleanup jobs. And the complaint forms? What did you want to talk about? Okay. All right. Donna, who is our second vice president, wanted to come up and speak to you about our resident concern, compliment, and concern. Did I put it right? No, I didn't. Our forms that we have available to everyone. Yeah, I didn't want to say complaint.
Hello, everyone. Recently, I happened to be on Facebook, and I started reading the open forum, which I don't get on every day, but this day I was on. And there were quite a few complaints about LPG on the forum. We as a board are not all on there every single day or every single minute. In fact, some members aren't even on Facebook. So if you could please fill out this form when you have an issue, a concern, a worry. We can present it to management and get a decent answer for you. We can't answer those questions on the forum. I don't think that's what the forum is for. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I thought the forum was for happy things to share and, other suggestions, not to complain, because that's why we have this forum. And I really do want to answer those questions, but I've got to talk to management first. The people that do fill these out, we do present them to management. Unfortunately, we've only met with Christy since we've been on the board. And we're going to stress to her next week that we need the leaders here that can answer our questions. Because the questions go unanswered because we don't have the answers, and nor does Christy. And she really tries to get them, but she can't. So we're going to try and rectify that. But in the meantime, if you have a complaint about the development, fill this out. We'll get it to management. But we're not going to answer those questions on the forum. Thank you so much for listening.
Wow. Okay. Open forum is great. You can meet a lot of people on the open forum. You can get a lot of suggestions on there if you need a doctor or a dentist, or you want to know where to go for a massage or whatever. New hairdresser. And I agree with what Donna said. There's a lot of complaints on there. But I did want to read this one. This one came in this morning. And since it's on open forum, which is open to everyone, the community, I'm going to read it, and I will tell you who said this. Susan Delaire said, I just finished reading a number of complaints about LPG. I just want to say that I feel very blessed to live here. It's not perfect, but it's better than where the majority of the world lives. And I thought, wow, that made my heart happy. Following that were 13 comments, all positive. People saying how wonderful it is to live here. And I don't know about you, but when I was growing up, my mother always said, one bad apple spoils the barrel. It's sad that I know that there are things that people are kind of stressed about with all the COVID stuff and the rules and the regulations and all that type of thing does get on your nerves, but we still live in a really wonderful place. And no, it's not perfect, but I don't think there's any place on earth that is. So one other thing I wanted to say about those forms is management never sees them. The only ones that see it are the 5 people that are on the board. We also have it now set up that Donna will be contacting anyone that submits a form like that. She will be contacting them personally with the results of it, so that everybody knows that, yes, the board did discuss this, and yes or no, this is how management responded to it. The board can't, we're just the go-between between all of you and management. That's it. So.
We represent them. We represent all the homeowners.
Right. Yeah, we're the mediator, I guess is what you would call it. So, okay, so we finished that, and this is where we're open for questions and comments, and Sue is going to run around with a microphone so that this comes up on the YouTube, which is being filmed, but for some reason it wasn't able to be live today. So it will be up on the website afterwards. There's one over here and one over here. Oh, there's.
Oh, can you help me? I'm part of Neighborhood Watch, and what you said about it is absolutely correct. If the police chief was standing here, he would say that. But he'd also say one more thing. He'd say, buy dawn to dusk light bulbs. Everybody knows what those are. They come on at night, and they stay on until the morning, and you don't have to do anything. They're about $8 a piece. And that's the second thing he would say. So I've done that in my little cul-de-sac, and it's great. It's fantastic. The other thing about, and I don't want to rehash the garbage thing, but unfortunately, I met, or I saw 8 people in the last 3 weeks, and I live close to Peggy, hauling stuff in there, and I talked to 4, and each one of those people said that they had no idea that it was for green waste. Just did not understand at all. And they looked like they were honest people, and one was a new resident. So I think the signs and camera are going to work maybe 50% of the time.
Yeah.
And my question was, are those signs, have they been ordered, or does Todd have to approve them still?
When we were in the meeting with Todd, he picked up his cell phone and called, I'm not sure who, and told him he wanted a sign made for the green waste area.
Good.
So that was in November.
I can follow up with that if you want me to.
It is on our agenda to bring up to management next
Okay.
next Thursday at
Does
our
that
meeting.
include a camera, or
No, there's no sense
Okay.
in putting a camera there, because if we put a camera there, it would be, and this is what I've seen on the open forum, is the cameras are worthless because people still get in here without the signs or the clickers. We're
I mean, a
not going to
camera
pay.
in the waste area.
Right. Well, there's not going to be somebody that sits there and monitors the waste area. So someone could walk in and dump and walk out, and somebody's just happened to look away or, stepped out for a minute, wouldn't see it. The other thing is they would need facial recognition software, which would mean a new computer system that would be able to handle whatever, they purchased on that. And then what is how do they enforce it? What's the ramifications?
You're right. You're
If
right.
somebody walked in there and threw their wall-to-wall carpeting for their entire house in there, they would be told, oh, you shouldn't do that. Oh, okay. There is nothing in the lease that you can be fined.
The only positive thing about cameras is some people, a certain portion of people, are going to be scared of the camera. I would if the
Yeah.
cameras, maybe they
Yeah.
wouldn't do it if they knew. We've never heard from the board, I've never heard from the board or anybody else, what are being done with the cameras, if they're being monitored or recorded or
Okay.
anything. I've never heard anything. Maybe it's just me, but.
Okay, they are not monitored 24, they can't. You would have to hire an employee to sit there watching the cameras all day. So it is recorded, and I believe it's 30 days that they retain the recordings. But it is, and then if need be, we all have this idea that, that somebody comes in and says, okay, at 11:02 this morning, this car came through and hit somebody. So the person says, well, let me pull that up for you. And they buzz through and they go, oh, there it is. Well, that's TV land. You have to go through the whole thing looking for it. It doesn't just pull up 11:02 a.m. and you get to see it. You have to monitor the whole thing. So, and considering the fact that we don't have crime in here, I mean, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have that. I think we should. But I think that it's also a deterrent to a lot of people because they know it's there. Like you said with the camera, you're afraid to do something because you're being watched. So I think it is a deterrent. But as far as somebody monitoring them all the time, that does not happen. But yes, the cameras are in effect. They're at the guardhouse, and they're also in the office. They have them on their desks at the office where they can monitor it. So it's helpful.
So that's a no on the cameras in the waste area, right? Is that what you're saying? A
Yeah,
no?
it's a very involved, they would have to revamp the whole area because they don't have the wiring, I guess you would say,
Okay.
to do it. So they would have to redo that, plus get the cameras, plus,
Okay, what I wanted to bring up is speed bumps. And I know I've been told before that that has been negated, that nobody wants them. Well, that's because they're the speeders. This is a very bad area right here. I can't tell you how many times I've almost been hit with the mail and everything. And I want to know why that can't be brought back up to the management to put in speed bumps.
okay, we did, I know since I've been on the board, it's been brought up and it was negated, but we will bring it up again. Would you please, fill out one of these forms for us, and then we have our paper to fill it up?
Yeah, the people that claim they ruin our vehicles is because they're not slowing down for them. They don't ruin vehicles.
They do to somewhat.
Yeah, only
Well-
for speeding over it.
They ruin your car.
No, they don't.
I mean, if you're speeding. I'm sorry, I didn't finish that. I have a relative that works in the car business, and I don't know if somebody else can refute this, but he said that it does put additional wear and tear on tires and suspensions to have speed bumps.
Race over them.
No, drive over them. He lives in a community where there are speed bumps, and he is very concerned because he has a very nice car, and he doesn't want to pay for the touch-ups on it. Okay. Michael Thesman was the one that negated the speed bumps. But he owns it. He gets to do, he's the one that puts the rules down, but he's the one who negated the speed bumps because he doesn't like them.
He doesn't live here either. He may own it, he doesn't live here.
Right. That's true. Okay. Yes, sir.
One of the things that people don't realize about speed bumps is they may slow everybody down, including somebody that's driving a fire engine or a paramedic vehicle. And if there's one thing I realize, it's seconds count.
Amen.
And every speed bump literally adds seconds. And when you get a couple of them, you're talking minutes. So then maybe you wind up with the hearse coming through slowly. And I think that's one of the things we need to think about. There's a balance. They do work in certain areas. I was a traffic engineer for a long time. And I've been in a police car where we went over them at 40 miles an hour and we took it. Well, we were trying to see just, what can you do and what can't you do. And it's the design of them too. Some of them are wicked, they are inconsistent. The community we lived in previously, there was a hodgepodge. Some of them you could go over at what the speed limit was, which was 20. Some of them you couldn't do 10 over. Anyway, my real question had to do with cardboard and the green waste thing. I kind of asked somebody at the office what I could do with the cardboard I had because we moved in and had some extra cardboard and that we couldn't get rid of otherwise. And they said, hey, if it's corrugated, put it in the green waste.
Right.
So corrugated to me is green waste. I mean, my son sells cardboard and it's a timber industry. But there's also other things like maybe wood pieces that people have. So is it okay to put in anything that is based on trees and shrubs? Or maybe if you can't answer that, maybe the sign should address that because cardboard to me is okay and it made sense.
Okay. So I'm I don't know the answer.
Okay.
We can find out, We've tried to, that's what the sign was supposed to do, is to actually put on there what the residents could put in there. We have been trying to limit it to just green waste from your yard. If you trim your bushes, if your landscaper trims your bushes, that can all go in there. No questions asked, no problems. Then we were trying to get corrugated cardboard as a separate recycle item here, and that was immediately put down because we did it before and it was a disaster. So the problem is that if you can cut up your cardboard and put it in your tote, great, do that. If you put it in the green waste, the only thing that I can say is please just make it collapsed. Make it flat. I don't even know if that is what management's going to say, but if somebody's going to put it in there anyway, just flatten it out. Yes, I'm sorry.
You don't want anything to go into green waste that's been processed
Right.
by humans. So anything, it has to be fresh cut. So that's green waste.
Okay.
Cardboard has been processed,
Right. Right.
so you don't want anything like that in the green waste.
But
because it
cardboard-
goes into a process where it basically breaks down.
Mm-hmm.
And once it's processed, it doesn't do that.
Okay. I'll ask him afterwards, Pam. Save me.
Staying with green waste,
Come on, Dan, you can do it.
oh, most of us aren't throwing carpets in there.
Right.
Contractors are. Therefore, every contractor comes through the gate should be given a piece of paper, and they have to sign it that they read it, and if they get caught, they're gonna get fined.
You did it. Fill out the form for us. That was a good suggestion. I like that one, personally. Oh. One other thing I wanted to say on the speed bumps, in going through the previous year's notes, I did find that it was brought up, and it was put down by 80% of the population that voted. They didn't want them in here.
And since he spoke, I totally agree, it would be hazardous for the emergency vehicles.
Yes.
I never thought of that. But there's
Yeah.
something we need to come up with to do something with the speeders.
Well, you could do a Peggy.
That's all over the place.
Peggy screams. The board had an opportunity to go to another community for an AMHO meeting, and we got to talk with the residents there. They're not a Thesman community. And they said their biggest complaint was speeders. Their second complaint was dogs. Yeah, they have speed bumps, by the way. Yeah, so, it's just. Yes, I live on 5th Street. It's a direct line from Juniper Hills right up here to Palm Circle.
Okay, for recycling cardboard, there is a place in Queen Creek.
Yes.
That might be a good idea to post it so people will be more aware. There's about 15 bins there, and we go down once a month, and we save up our cardboard for once a month. Can you give them the directions, John?
You- Right. We have in the past given out addresses for where you could take cardboard and glass. We could do that again, too.
We go on Ellsworth into Queen Creek, the old road to
Okay.
Ellsworth, and it's near the other end. It's near a dog park,
Okay.
and then there's the recycle. So my question about Todd, when did he put the banners out on the street on Ellsworth? Those nice banners, it's got Las Palmas Grand, and it's marked $70,000.
All but one of them have been updated to 80.
Pardon me?
All of them, except for one, was updated to 80.
Yeah, I would like to have that changed, because there's no houses that are worth 80,000 here
Okay.
anymore. So I would like that, because
I don't-
as you know, real estate has gone up,
Okay.
and it's gone up here. You don't get anything for 100,000 here anymore. So
I have to tell you a story here.
I don't know if that's but I don't know if that's a game plan. I don't know if that
Fill out the form and we will bring it up to them.
increases the people that come in and say, hey, I could buy something for 80,000 when it's not available. So by putting the prices up higher, then we got good quality people living in here. So this is why I'm asking. It should be at least 100, 120,000 for the banner changed.
Okay, when my husband and I came to Arizona looking for a home, we had decided we weren't going to spend a penny over 90,000. This was, 3.5, almost 4 years ago. So we were looking around at all these places. 90 was our limit. And then we saw this place and we saw homes for 70s. So we said, well, we can afford that. So we pulled in here and we were like, oh, just driving in here, we couldn't believe the beauty. So we worked with the realtor. He showed us some houses back then you could still get a house around 80. So he showed us the 80 and the 90,000 and we were like, no, we don't want this. And then he showed us houses that were more than, he goes, well, if you go up a little bit more, we bought our house for a bit over $100,000. But if we hadn't seen the sign, we might just have driven by. So it is, like you said, it is a draw to try and get people in here, and then when they look, they realize that there isn't anything for 70 or 80,000 in here. And that is a recent thing that the prices and the homes have gone up in the past maybe 2 years, where it's just, I can't believe that houses in here are going, that we had another one that was sold for $299,000 just a couple weeks ago. So that's a couple houses that, Sue over here.
I wasn't gonna ask, this lady over here.
You know, just an aside here, Donna has been passing out to these forms to people as they bring these issues up. If you agree with the person that's filling out that form, fill out one, because the more we have, we can say, we've got more than one person complaining about this. We've got, like I did with the pool, I had 8 people. And they were like, whoa, immediate. The next day it was taken care of. So strength in numbers. Okay.
Thank you. I missed the memo about the open forum changing, on Facebook, where you could check out Las Palmas Grand Friends and Neighbors or whatever it was called. Okay. What is it now? Because I don't know what it is.
Okay, there is one that's called Las Palmas Grand Activities, and the only thing that you will see in there are what the current activities are. There is also an email blast sent out once a month that lists all the activities that are going on for the month. They are also in the newspaper, the Thesman paper. And then every week, you'll get an email blast about next week's activities and also the food trucks. We get one about what food truck is here on Mondays. That's all through the activities department. The Friends and Neighbors Facebook page was for activities only or positive comments about LPG. When they instituted the email program first, found out that they got a lot of feedback on that was great because they didn't have to go on Facebook to find out what was going on. They were getting the email blasts. So they decided at first just to close the Friends and Neighbors in favor of email blasts, but there were people who still like going on Facebook to find it. So they opened up the Las Palmas Grand Activities Facebook page. All you have to do is you can put that in your search at the top of the Facebook page, click on it, like it, and then you can adjust it so that it's something that shows up as a priority in your personal page every day. The LPG Open Forum has been around for quite a while. Stan, when did that start? When did LPG Open Forum start?
I think it seems like 5 years ago.
Okay. So that was always available for the past 5 years. It's been available for anybody that lives within Las Palmas Grand. You can go on there and you can pretty much, within reason, I think we're all reasonable adults, say what you feel, okay? I like posting little funny things and thoughtful things and like that. But as we said earlier, yes, you can post complaints and things like that. We're hoping that people will fill out the forms about the complaints so we can do something about them other than just going on the open forum. If you want to go on the open forum, Stan's the man. He's the one who started open forum. He can give you You didn't start it?
No, it was this Betty Miller.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
I was recruited.
And he hasn't been able to say no since. So if you want to get on the open forum, if you're not on it, you can talk with Stan and he can give you the directions on how to get on it. It's very easy. You just Google, or you just put it in the search engine and request an invite. Yes?
He had another.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Maybe on the open forum, if you have a techie person, they can put a link to your suggestion form that young lady's been carrying around here.
That's a
And
great
people could
idea.
print it out at home. I might try that, but I'm not super tech.
I'm technologically challenged.
This
It's not me.
roving microphone, see, if you're really old people in here like me, remember the comment, I have a lady in the balcony, doctor. There was a radio show years ago. They'd go around with a microphone, and this guy always said that. I have a lady in the balcony, doctor. This
There's
reminded
the
me.
lady.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Dan. Anybody else? Oh, Dan remembered.
Everybody that buys a new home in here,
Wait a minute.
everyone that buys a new home in here has to go through the office. Somebody mentioned that he talked to 4 people, new people, they never knew anything. They should be discussed what our recycling program is at closing.
They, excuse me. Yeah, we have, every month they have a newcomers meeting, and that is brought up at the newcomers meeting. Okay, but I don't know about you, but when I say it, do you remember everything that they said to you when you signed your papers here to? No. Pardon me?
A flyer to hand out when people buy and you're given your papers, a flyer would be good.
That would be.
received a flyer.
I didn't.
It just tells me everything, what should or shouldn't go in there. That was a long time ago, though.
Yeah. Okay, those are good ideas, definitely good ideas. If there's anybody here that's new that hasn't been to a newcomers meeting, they have one every month. It's listed in the newspaper. Please come. You get a lot of information. You get to meet people. It's a really good thing. Yes?
The American flag came down because I understand the rope broke. And I know that our next door neighbor ordered and paid for the 200, 400, whatever it was, feet for the rope and gave it to him. And I don't see it flying today. So I'm just wondering why it hasn't been flying for the last month.
Okay, that's in the entrance?
Because I know that he bought the rope and put it up, and he was trying to get the payment and get him to put it up.
Okay, so we'll put that on our agenda for next week, find out where that is. Okay. Anybody else? I love the interaction. I feel like I'm part of you guys. I own a house here too, so we don't fix everything, we just present it to management for all of us, okay? I know, talk to your neighbors, tell them to come. It's encouraging to us to see, that we're looking out at people that are actually warm bodies interacting with us. That's encouraging to us. So, okay, so if there's nothing else, I will announce that the next meeting is March 3rd. It'll be here in the ballroom. Do I have a motion to adjourn? We got a motion. We are adjourned.